Alrighty, back here at Minecraft World, and got some sad news and some good news. I had a buddy for 15 years with his name and looked just like him, and I don't have him anymore as of 2 days ago. This is November 14th, and he passed away. Yeah, he looks sad. He looks sad, and I feel like the weather, and he passed away on the 12th. And at night, me and him built this world together. He'd lay up behind me on the couch here, or next to me on the couch, while I did this, and we hung out and we built this world. This world's probably about 6 months or so old. And he was 15 years old. So he's been around for a little while. He's a pretty old kitty. And, yeah. Don't got him no more. So I'm going to leave the world as me and him built it. And the good news is we're going to start a new one. So, Garfield, let's take a walk. And we'll show you all, we'll do a tour of this world. And then we're just going to save it as it is. Just leave it. Leave it like this, how we built it, huh, buddy? Alrighty. So this is our main base. Come on, follow me, kitty. He's probably going to be like real life Garfield was. And not do anything I tell him to do. So here's our main base. This is where everything started. Yes. Actually, we started over there in a hole in the ground. So this is it. Over here was our bedroom. This is our bedroom. This was our first pickaxe. This was our first diamond pickaxe. There's a recovery compass. These are all just backup bows. These are all silk touch. Random loot. Not really random stuff, you know, it's good stuff. Good loot. Good loot we found a lot of. Where did you get off to? Come on, buddy. A bunch of tridents, a bunch of carrots, some backup gear, some more backup gear, and yes, some backup supplies there. Here's what's in our ender chest. A bunch of dragon heads from the end. Here's a horn we found. Here's the dragon egg, and that I believe I found by accident. I was digging up sand and there it was. Why don't you wait here for me, my friend? Here's some shulker boxes, a bunch of those, so we had extra. This is just the trash thing. It just deposits loot or deposits whatever you try to get rid of into a void spot. It's just like a chicken cooker. Up here we have nothing. Never really built onto anything there. Anything under here? No. I haven't been here in a while. Here's our potion room. All our good potion brewings and stuff. So there's that. This is up here is just where we did all the enchanting of our weapons that we got from our villagers. This is just some more stuff we found, like in the end and around the world. Yes, yes, yes. There is a recording of this world being built, most of it anyways. Oh, and you want to show them around outside? Come on, my friend. Yeah, 15 years is a long time to have a buddy. And then not. Over here we have the rest of his siblings. Come on now. Why don't you wait here for me? Here's the rest of his siblings. Here's the pumpkins from our pumpkin farm. And then we have the villager trader here. And the iron farm. All these villagers. These guys you can all trade the pumpkins with. Oh, that one's an expensive guy. I think these are... Some of these have been zombified, right? Oh, yeah, here we go. And that is very loud. And then these guys where you get all the diamond gear and all your enchantments. We got all that. Yep, me and my buddy, we would sit around and build this at night. Because the girlfriend, she sleeps at night and I don't. I don't hardly ever sleep. I don't sleep very well. Never did. So I sit up night doing this with him. And we do have videos of it. I just didn't record every little thing. We sit up and do that. So that is the Iron Farm and Villager Trader. Let's go over here and show the folks our kelp farm that we built. I will not be getting another cat or another pet. I'm kind of done. That is enough for me. I've had a lot of ferrets and I don't anymore. And I had one cat in my adult life and now I don't anymore. And I think that's about enough for me. I might get a goldfish. Here's our kelp farm. I got a girlfriend. I'll keep her around for a while. So we have a ton of kelp here growing. Tons and tons and tons. It automatically breaks, flows up into these hoppers, and gets auto smoked. And we use that for fuel around the world. And we also use it for experience, for mending up our equipment. Just reach in here and get some mending done. There we go, mended. Just leave that. So there is our kelp farm. It is quite large. I believe there was 300 individual tiles of kelp growing there. So that is pretty cool. Got quite a bit of fuel out of that. There's some turtles I found. I thought that boat was missing. Did it come? That boat actually came back. I thought it had been gone all this time. Actually, there, unless it's another one that's missing. What is that over there? Is that the trader? I think that's the watering trader. Alright, why don't we get you back inside and we'll go for the rest of the tour here. Come on, buddy. Yeah, I didn't run him to the vet because I knew he was old. And I kind of knew what they were going to say to me because he was so old. He was in pretty good health until about a week ago. Then he just stopped eating stuff. Got real kind of sleepy on me all the time and real not wanting to get up or do anything. And I kind of knew. I've had plenty of pets that I know when, yeah, they're not going to be around too much longer on you. And so I didn't take him to the vet because I kind of knew what it was going to be. And I figured since I watched him be born, I guess I'm going to have to watch him go. And I actually did literally watch him be born. He came out backwards. So that was that. Here we have our cows and our sheeps. These will automatically shear. If I add the redstone right here, there's observers under there that will detect when the sheep grabs grass and it'll shear them. There's some shears in there. I'm not going to turn it on right now. So I have more wool in this world than I know what to do with. And we have a little farm here. Over here was a tree farm. That I kind of automated, but not really. Kind of like the little wood shack. It's just like all the drops from the leaves would go down into here. And there's also a chicken in there. That's where all these eggs came from. So a chicken ended up in there. So I think I bred a couple of them, just threw them in there. Or maybe I threw some eggs in there or something. I don't remember exactly how, but there was a chicken that ended up in there. I was like, well, now I got eggs. So that's the tree farm. That is about it for here. Of course, it's going to play the sad music for me, so thank you, game, for that. It took me a couple days actually to where I could function again to actually do this video, so yeah, that's how I managed to hold it together so far here. He was my buddy. I never really had a family. Well, I had parents and all that, but since I became an adult, I never had a wife or kids or anything. I got a girlfriend now, and I do have a daughter, but me and the mom split up shortly after she was born, and I never really got to be a big part of her life. I mean, you do the weekend things the best you can and stuff like that, and support them the best you can, but it's not really the same as growing up growing up with the family, so, and he was it. So he was it. I've had him. He's the well, pretty close to the same age as my daughter. She's 15, and he was 15. He was born in October, and it's November, so he made it just a little over 15 years. She's still going. She's a little knucklehead now. We're actually close now. So I just missed her growing up, but now we're kind of close, or close as we can be, I suppose. We talk pretty regular and stuff, and she's kind of broke up about it too, because that was her growing up buddy. All right, so here is our Guardian farm, which I have added other things to. We have the LA here that I brought over. They are currently listening to music, but when I turn the game off and turn it back on, you can't hear the music anymore. If I take the record out and put it back in, you'll be able to hear it. This is also a bit of a village going on in here. I just didn't know what else to do with it. The actual Guardian farm is here. They spawn here and get carried down, go in here, burn up, and drop their stuff. So that is basically the Guardian farm, and I have the LA here. I think these guys are naturally spawned. So there is the Guardian farm. This was an ocean temple. We cleared it out, and then there it is. We built this. I figured it was a good place to keep the LA because it was domed in. I didn't think they'd get the harm that away. So that is that. I hate clearing these out. It is a massive chore, and it's not fun. But I do like sea lanterns, as you can see. Got our little subway here. I sure am going to miss that guy. But I had to make a choice. Do I want to take him to the vet and have him put down, or just let him go at home? And I just chose to let him go at home. I figured I didn't want him in a strange place, and he can just be here with me. And that's the choice. So you got to live with them choices, so I got to live with that. Live with having to see it and all that, so. I'm pretty tough, but that broke me. That was tough, as one of the toughest things. I mean, I lost both my parents, and losing him was actually harder. Believe it or not, I was kind of shocked too. I was like, wow, I didn't think it was going to hit me that hard. About 13 to 18 years is about all you can expect out of a kitty cat. At least from my experience. Not that I've had many. I told you I've only had the one since my adult life. I had cats when I was a kid, but they always, quote unquote, ran away. I think my parents just like offed them somewhere. I don't know. It just seems like I went through a lot of cats growing up. But when I was an adult, that was the only one I ever had. And like I said, I watched him be born. His mom was a stray who kind of was just a neighborhood stray, and one night she just ran up into my, I was living in a mobile home, she just ran up inside of it. I'm like, what is going on? And 10 minutes later, she just started dropping kittens everywhere. And he was in the middle there, and he came, like I said, he came out backwards. So, yeah, I mean, I've had him ever. I was like, well, I'm keeping the orange one because I've always wanted a Garfield because I loved reading the comics when I was a kid. So I kept him. Here is our village, our actual village that I built. Or I say we built because he was hanging out with me while we were doing it. So this is our village. I'll have a bit of a look around. If I can figure out how to play the video game. I can't seem to get down the scaffolding here. I know it can be done. I built it. Oh, come on. I'm just not standing over it. There we go. So here's the farmer's little shack here. This is where I started it. You should be in a library, I believe. Here's these guys. You can see their workstations. Blast furnace station guys. These are stone cutters. Yeah. We have a bit of a little community area here. Why ain't you guys in bed? So weird. Here's the library. I never really did much with the interiors. I just never finished them. Here's the library. I think most of these guys are naturally spawned as well. Here's their little houses. I got houses everywhere. This is kind of the cheap side. And they have nicer houses. And now they're starting to go to bed. Here's some little bit nicer houses. These are all houses. And they get the real, kind of a little bit more fancier houses up this way. Got watchtowers all around. That's what we just went up and looked around at. And here's like the little fishing village down this way. We got some boats in the little harbor here. And we go across the bridge. And we have the farm. There's the farmhouse. I never put a barn in. I thought I put a barn in. I guess I didn't. Got a windmill, some haystacks, some hay fields, some animals. There's our base way over there. You can see just see the top of it. More fields over this way. I forget what these kind of fields are. They're called like step fields or terrace farming or something like that. It just kind of worked out with the terrain. So there is the actual village. It's completely walled off. But these guys do spawn in occasionally. The golems seem to make short work of them. Usually the villagers stay away from them, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, the drowned do come in, but the golems kind of take care of them. You'll see every now and again when I was building this, and every now and again you see a drowned flying through the air. I'm like, well, he got wrecked. Yeah, we have the little gatehouses here. We got a wall all the way around. So that is the village. Let me jump into bed here. Got some random junk on me too. I don't know. I must have been doing something. But that is our village. Pretty much done. I think I was thinking about putting a castle in, but I never did. I mean, this world's pretty complete. I thought about extending this bridge back around over to the either the main base or maybe perhaps another build, but I just kind of stopped it here for now. Never finished. There's another view of the fields. Farm field. So I'll head back over to the base. Yeah, I am gonna miss that guy playing these video games at night when I can't sleep. It's too quiet around here, you know. It's just I don't have him. Oh, my girlfriend's kind of tore up about it too. They were kind of close. I actually found her a cat. About 3 years ago, I was walking to the store about midnight on a bear run, as you do. And I heard this little tiny kitten meow, 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 meow. And it's dark, and I'm about half blind anyways. And so I felt around and kept like looking and looking. I finally found him, and he was little tiny. It was like February. This little tiny kitten. He couldn't have been but 4 or 5 weeks old. And I didn't know what to do. I mean, obviously I probably scared the mom while she was carrying him off somewhere, and she dropped him. And I didn't know if I left him, she'd come back for him, or what to do. So I was just like, well, I guess you're my problem now. So I picked him up and threw him in my pocket. I figured he was old enough to live on his own if I took care of him. So I did. I took him home, got him put together for the most part, and I gave him to my girlfriend. And she adores him, so she spoils the crap out of him. She says she don't like him, but man, she spends probably half her money on that cat. She adores that thing. If we keep going down here, the base is up there. We keep going down here. we're going to run into this is our pumpkin farm. I showed you where it leads off to. The pumpkins grow in here, and then there's a minecart runs around underneath and then takes them over to the village. And then back here we have a sugar cane and a bamboo farm. I kind of have them turned off at the moment. Kind of the same thing. The minecarts go around, pick it up, and then they bring them back over here. And they drop the stuff into these two little silos I got going on here. Got bamboo, sugar cane, got plenty of both. So there's that. We'll go down a little bit further. Here's our furnace room. There is a drop box up in the base there. And the drops end up in here, and the fuel is in here. You can see we got plenty of fuel from the kelp farm. Here's the stuff we smelt. Anything that gets smelted gets sent down into the storage room, so there's that. Automatically, and that's where we're going at next stop. There is a bubble a bubble elevator and a water drop to get down all the way down here. So this isn't the best way of doing it. I'm just showing you the long way because I can show you everything in between. Everything leads down into this storage room. Down here I just had some mushrooms growing because I didn't know what else to do with the area. But here's our actual storage room. We have bulk storage. It's for when you get a bunch of this stuff. Here's another bulk storage. Here's the auto sorter. Everything comes down into this hopper line here, gets sorted out into here, and whatever doesn't get picked up in this area gets dropped off in here, which is where we're going to put all this stuff for now. And then I just sort it out into these other areas out of this box. So you come back from mining or whatever, you just drop everything into a drop box up in the base there, and it'll get sorted out through here, and then at your leisure you can kind of just grab everything, and then like here's single item sort and just put it into the random areas. Back in here is a mob grinder, I believe. Yep, it is. You can hear it running. Here they come. It's just 7 levels of your basic mob grinders. Actually 2 of these down here. They kind of walk around and they kind of pathfind around. And they kind of fall into them little things. They fall into little water streams there, like he's going to do it now. They get pushed down into them campfires. Come on, down you go. There you go. And you get all your mob drops that way. Which I have tons of now. So I have 2 of these. Because until you start clearing out the caves, lighting up the caves and the dark areas, you don't get that many drops. But once you do, you get tons. You get more than you'll ever need. Then it's basically, like I said, there's another one down this way. They're kind of at opposite ends from each other. Just so as you were working around, there was one that was always running. And that's just to make sure I had enough arrows and whatever. And whatever else I need. And rotten flesh I trade to the villagers and stuff like that. Here's the bubble column and water drop. There's the water drop. Here's the bubble column. Here's another one of those trash things. Just throw out the junk. This will take us back up to the base. I ain't gonna take you into the nether, buddy. That's where I'm going next. So you just hang here for a minute. Alright, we'll go into the nether and check out some of the other stuff. Do I have a gold helmet on me? I do. Alrighty. And down here is where I was mining the netherite. Just tunnels and stuff where I was just digging through looking for netherite. Me and my buddies sit here listening to a podcast. Oh, jeez. Hi. Yeah, we listen to a podcast and mine netherite. A few hours, you get plenty. You can see I'm all the way geared out. Plus, I have 2 backup sets. And there's another one down here. It's the same thing. Rare. I think I gave you a gold bar. That's why you want this spawn. Here, you want this? There you go. You can have that. So that's where I was mining another right. This is just our portal room here. Ain't much going on, just has the portal in it. Up here is our another hub. Yeah, we'd sit here for hours building this stuff because I don't sleep very well at night. I sleep about 2-3 hours a night. My girlfriend would go home about 5 o'clock and that'd leave us the rest of the day. I go to bed about 3 in the morning. So we'd sit up between, from like 6 o'clock, 6 or 7, whenever I get the house cleaning done and the chores done, till 3 o'clock every night. He'd lay with me and I'd sit here and do this. Play the game or something. So where should we go first? We can go to the gold farm. This is our another hub. So I sure am gonna miss that feller. He was one of a kind. He actually played fetch. I don't know if any of y'all have ever known a cat to play fetch. I actually had one to play fetch. And he'd play fetch with the strangest things. Like I said, him and my daughter were born just about the same time. She was born in March and he was born in October. Yeah, he was born in October and she was born in March. And I don't know what happened or how it came about, but if he threw the nipple part of a bottle, he'd run and grab it and bring it back to you. And he'd also do it with hair ties. It was the funniest thing. I've never seen a cat play fetch. He would also talk to you. He'd go round, 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 talk. So yeah, he was just the coolest thing. Like I said, he was my buddy. He wasn't really my pet. He was kind of a family member my whole life, so. Now down here is how I was going to try and make the gold farm, because in Java Edition this would work as a gold farm, but in Bedrock it did not. But I left it after I figured out how to make a gold farm in Bedrock. I left it because it was a good place to trade with these guys. Well, there's no adults around because he's here. Get rid of him. Yeah. These two have been given stuff, so they won't despawn, I guess. Once you give them something they don't want to despawn, I guess the little guys too. So that's why I left that. I ended up dying a bunch of times in here because creepers were getting spawned into my gold farm. And we're blowing, this was all glass at one point, and they were blowing holes in this and dropping me up into the lava, and there was nowhere for me to escape to, so I just burned it up. Thankfully I got my netherite stuff back because it doesn't burn up in lava. And so I did figure out how to do the gold farm. I watched a video or two on it. I got another kitty over here. I got kitties all over this world. I do like kitties. They're pretty. I've only owned, like I said, since I was an adult, I've only had the one cat. But I've always liked them. I always loved them as a kid. I'm not really a dog person. They bark. It's just not. I don't want something that barks. It's just. I know people love their dogs, but they're just not for me. They bark, they drool, they slobber. So here's the kill pad. Let me turn it on. I gotta have fire spread on. Settings. On, right? There we go. So I gotta turn that on. And I gotta hit this switch over here. It should turn this on. Where's it at? The switch, here we go. And then the little pigments should start falling down. There they go. You could turn this on and it'll catch them. And they get, whoops, and you can dispatch them with your sword. And that was my gold farm. And don't AFK at one of these because you'll probably crash your system. I found that out. I AFK'd, went and took a shower and got some food. Came back and I had about 3 frames. I had about 3 FPS. It was bad. So yeah, and it's just this separates all their stuff. And their swords will end up in the furnace here. Sometimes you gotta babysit these because other stuff besides swords will get mixed up in it. You get some flesh, some other stuff, but there's flesh, and we got the village or the clerics here to trade the flesh off to. Who's out here growling? I hear you. Where you at? Oh. You got a helmet on, huh? I'll take care of that. Over here's where I got the allay. There is, I think it's over this way, somewhere around here. There is a pillager outpost. We'll see it when we go up here. I'll show you the rest of the gold farm, how it works and all that. Once I figured out how it works, there is a pillager outpost. I know that's where I got the allay. Yeah, there it is. I knew it was around here. So it's just another one of them buckets on a hopper clock, or not a hopper clock, an observer clock. There's 2 observers facing each other. It makes a clock. And then the reason why you got to have fire tick on is because those trapdoors and another observer clock under it. And that causes the fire to spread, and that's what lights the portals off the trapdoors. It lights them. Then you have the water buckets here to break them, and the breaking and lighting is what spawns in the pigmen. You can see them spawning in. And I didn't have this lit up, and creepers were spawning in and getting sent through the portal into that room where I said I died a bunch of times in the lava. So that is how that works. And there we go. Let's go ahead and turn fire spread back off. I just don't, well, I ain't going to be playing this world anymore, but so I'm going to save it as a memento. Like I said, I built this with my buddy at night. And I'll go ahead and turn it off. So that is the gold farm. Then once you get all your gold and whatever, you can trade with these guys if you want. Yeah, like I said, we got a good 6 months into this world playing at night like that. He just lay next to me or behind me, and I jam away at this. He was a pretty active cat right up to the last couple of weeks there. He was real active. Run around, do all kinds of stuff. He'd wait on my, and I get up in the morning there. He'd sit and watch the door because my girlfriend would come over and feed him in the morning. That was kind of their little routine that they had going. She's kind of broke up too, because they were kind of buddies. And then she'd come over. After she gets up, gets motivated and stuff, she'd come over and sit on the. I got a couch on the other side of the room here from me. She'd sit there and play on her laptop that I got her, and cat lay on her lap, and they'd chill out. And then when she'd go home, he'd come chill with me. So yeah, he was well loved, and he was well loved, and he took pretty good care of me through the years. I don't know how I got through it without him. Like I said, I didn't really have anyone else. My parents have been dead a few years now, and my mom died quite a few years ago. She was kind of young. She was only in her 50s. She had a lot of health problems. Overweight. Overweight will kill you, y'all. If you're overweight, think about losing it. That is about you don't see no old large people, let's put it that way. She was kind of on the heavy side. She made it to about 55. That was the end of her. So if you're overweight, think about losing it, because you probably won't be around very long. Deep dark. Okay, we can go here. He was not overweight. He was a very active cat his whole life. He was a big kitty too. I think he was. I did have him to the vet once. He was 12 pounds. That's pretty large for a kitty. But he wasn't fat. He was just big. He was just like long and tall and beefy. I remember his father. He was a neighborhood tomcat, and I came home one day from work, and he was leaned into my garbage can, feet still on the ground. That's how big he was. Looked like a frickin' jaguar. I thought it was a dog at first. I was like, holy fuck, that's a cat. It's the biggest cat I've ever seen. It was huge. And his mom was tiny, so and he was kind of in the middle. Like I say, he was a good sized cat. So this leads us to the deep dark, or the ancient city, I guess I should call it. I did finally find one. It took me a good week or so to actually find one. But it has all been lit up and taken care of. There's not really much to show. I've already cleared it out, got all the stuff out of it and stuff. But there's the ancient city. And I just kind of built this as a forward base for it. I'm not going to go walking around it. It's just your basic ancient city. There's nothing really to see. I haven't built anything in it or anything. Well, it looks like I was making some stuff to make shears. But I just built this little room as a forward base. I put them little sensors around so I could hear when a zombie or somebody is walking up on me. Yeah. I played with the warden a little bit. There are videos of it. So there's that. So there is our ancient city. Yeah, I just can't build on this world anymore after building it with him. So I'm just going to start a new one. I'm just going to leave this one the way it was. We kind of built together. So yeah, I know it's depressing, y'all. I'm depressed too, but I just want to pay tribute to my buddy. He was a big, huge part of my life. 15 years, like I said, I've had him. So, and I ain't getting another one. If I happen to find one on the way to the store again, you know, I got a big heart. It is what it is, but I ain't going looking. I'll just put it that way. The stronghold's your basic stronghold. We can go to the Nether Fort. I got stuff going on there. There ain't nothing to see at the stronghold. I never did anything with the end. Yeah. Yeah, if I happen to, if one happens to find me, put it that way, like I did the one for my girlfriend, sure, I guess. But I'm not going looking for it. Cats kind of pick their owner sometimes, and I feel like the one my girlfriend had kind of got picked, and the one I had kind of got picked. We got chosen. We didn't choose the cat. We got chosen. Put it that way. And you can't catch me at the shelter at the pet store. I come home with a box full of little critters because I just adore critters. I like critters more than I do probably all people. I know a lot of people say most people. I'm kind of like all people. I'm not a people person. I've never had good luck with people. Even my own parents, like I was saying, in my own family and stuff. So, and like I said, I never really watched my daughter grow up. I mean, we're still close. I still really care and adore her, and I'm doing anything for her. But, you know, he took care of me. He was the only one that actually tried. So, this is my little tribute to him because we hung out and doing this stuff like all the time. Alright, so here is our Nether fortress. This is just Nether. You go that way. Same with this way, it's just Nether. Just another fort. I never really did much with this part of it. So you can still find your wither skulls and whatnot. But up here is a double blaze spawner. Check that out. And so I made a double blaze spawner farm out of it. You just stand like right around here, and they'll keep spawning in. And then when you get ready to, you just come down here and give them the old what for. What I do is I just open it up, hi guys, and then I just stand around the corner. And like ranged mobs, they'll come to see. They'll come to your last area. So that's how I was throwing these guys. So that's pretty cool, huh? The same thing over here. Hello, fellas. You can handle quite a few if you got decent gear coming through the door. And if it get to be too many, you can just close the doors and kind of recoup. I never really had a problem with this. I imagine you could use a fire resistance potion or something if you had to. But it didn't bother me doing it like this. I don't plan on using any of this stuff. Yeah, like I said, this is just the fort, so you can still find your skulls and all that. Yeah, it has been a rough week, y'all. I'm pretty well worn out on it all. I haven't really been playing, but I figured I'd get this done. I'm getting kind of done with World of Warships. I think I'm getting ready to go back to something else or find another game to play. And I figured I'd go back to this one, but before I went back, I had to close this world off, or at least explain why I'm not going to build on it anymore. I just don't got it in me to build in this world, because it's the one me and my buddy built. Though I did all the work, he just supervised. He was supervising, y'all. He was a supervisor. He'd sit up behind me here on the back of the couch and supervise. He did a lot of supervising with his eyes closed, sleeping, so I guess I was a pretty good employee. I knew what to do. Oh, goodness. Yeah, they get at your feels, man. They little critters. At least they do me. They get your feels. Right in the feels. So I'm trying to think if I've covered everything or not. I think I'm pretty close to that being it. I feel like I have, anyways. I might, like I said, I'm not gonna bother with the stronghold. It's just down that way. I never did anything with it. It's just a stronghold. And I never did anything with the end. Nothing really to see there. I went through a couple of cities and looted them. That was about it. So yeah. What are you doing over there, Gasty? Rare. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it, I think. I checked all that out. Checked out the Guardian. Checked up all this. Yeah, I think we got it. Well, buddy, I am sure gonna miss you, my friend. So why don't we crash out one more time in this here game? What you gonna give me? I get anything? Figures, cheap butt. Where'd you go? Yeah. I am sure gonna miss you, and I enjoyed building this world with you, my friend. So that's where we're gonna leave it. Take care. I'll see you on the next one.